We are live at the Geelong zone. My God, 30 minutes of doing editing. We're supposed to start half an hour ago, actually 40 minutes ago. And we finally got there. Maybe I should have done that in advance. But I have a lot of things to talk about. Where's all my banners that I just made? There we go. Right, and today's video is The War on Cricket, especially by Andrew Dillon. It seems to be a problem for the last 5-6 years. I'm going to show you in this episode, today's video, I'm going to show you why the AFL is wrong about this. There was news this week that the AFL season next year in 2027 would have to be probably pushed forward or back, a couple of weeks because of the centenary MCG test. Now, apparently the AFL are not happy with this. They're trying to work out a deal. Personally, they've got not a leg to stand on. And like I said, this has been happening for the last 5-6 years. A year ago, where South Australia made the Sheffield Shield final, they could not play at the Adelaide Oval, which was absolute bullshit, which actually pissed me off. But I'm going to show you proof that the AFL is completely wrong. And the AFL has got not a leg to stand on if they want to go this to court. And I think Cricket Australia should grow a spine and actually stand firm with this and say, you know what, if you want to get lawyers, get lawyers. You've got not a leg. Right. I'm going to start with this banner here. We're going to go back to 2009. Yep, 2009. The Sheffield Shield final. I'm talking about Sheffield. The problem is the finals. The Sheffield Shield final. That seems to be the worst problem with this debacle. The worst problem. So I'm saying is you keep pushing it back. You keep moving it forward. You keep doing this. You keep doing that. Absolutely not. I'm going to show you proof right here that it is blatantly on the AFL, not Cricket Australia. So let's go. We'll go to 2009, but I actually want to go earlier than that. I'm going to go right into the 90s for crying out loud. This is how far back this is gone. But we're going to start with 2009. So the Sheffield Shield final was. So I don't have the month here, but it's the 13th, between the 13th and 17th of March at Grand Junction Oval. The AFL season started at March 26th with Carlton and Richmond. Okay, that's fair enough. All right, so it doesn't really matter because Victoria were hosting that final. They were not playing at the MCG. The next year is completely different. Completely different. And this is where the AFL are hypocrites. So this is the next year. 2010, Sheffield Shield, again, Victoria and Queensland. So the 2009 Shield was a draw between Victoria and Queensland. They played again in 2010. This time, it was at the MCG. And this time, it was closer. So it was on the 17th to the 21st. The AFL season started on the March the 25th. That's a 4-day turnaround. Yet, when South Australia last year wanted their Shield final at Adelaide Oval, Andrew Dillon made a big, huge deal about it couldn't be done. There's 4 days in between games. Cannot be done. You can't grow. It's unrealistic. Players are going to cause injury. There it is right there. A 4-day turnaround between the Shield final at the MCG and the AFL 2010, the start of the 2010 series, Richmond and Carlton on the 25th of March. But I thought it couldn't be done. Okay? Right, let's go. So I want you to notice a pattern here. So the AFL season started in 2009 on the 26th of March, 2010, 25th of March. Let's go to 2011. The Sheffield Shield final, this one was in Tasmania, so it had no impact on any ground whatsoever. Any AFL team whatsoever. The 17th and the 21, same as last year, same as in 2010. Last year was in 2010. So 2010 and 2011 was exactly the same dates. What have you noticed here with the AFL season? They've moved it forward 1 day again. 24th of March, Carlton and Richmond. The teams are irrelevant. It's the date. So 26 in 2009, 25 in 2010, 2011, 24. So the AFL slowly are moving their season forward, ever so slowly. Yet the Shield is around about the same time in March. Around about the same time. All right, we're going to skip a few years. We're going to go to 2015. Now, this one did shock me, this one. And once again, around the same time of the Sheffield Shield. Again, this was at a ground where it had no impact on any AFL teams. 21 and 25th, so that's fine, of March. AFL season started at April 2nd. April 2nd. This is in 2015. That's a massive jump. A massive jump. Very strange. Again, Carlton and Richmond. Yet the Sheffield Shield stays around about the same. Stays mid-March. And plus, this is not, like I said, it's up the whacker. There's no AFL teams that didn't affect. We're gonna go to the 2019 season. This is a year before COVID. 1 year before COVID. Now, Sheffield Shield have taken a major jump. Major jump. They've played their Shield the 20th and the 25th of April. Now, this was a Victorian home ground, but at Grand Junction Oval, their second ground. The AFL season have moved once again closer than in 2011, 2010, 2009 to the 21st of March. So they're continuing to move their AFL season closer, which is affecting the cricket. Right, now we're going to ignore the COVID years, because the COVID years, there was games on every day during the AFL. There were Shield bubbles. That's irrelevant. That's completely irrelevant. We're going to go to the year 2022. Good year for Cats fans. Right, Sheffield Shield season, I haven't got this in date because I was rushing this, was on the 31st of March to the 4th of April. Again, it played in a home ground where it didn't affect any AFL teams. The Wacker. However, once again, the AFL season has moved forward or back, whatever you want to see it. So we've gone in the space of 15 years from the 26th of March to the 16th of March. See the irony here? Cricket Australia don't know what they are doing because the AFL keep moving their dates. Now, for reference, we are going to go back a couple of years here. We're going to go back into the 90s, for crying out loud. All right, this is just for Shield. In the year 2000, Sheffield Shield final was 17th to the 20th of March. 1977, 21st to the 25th of March. 1995, I haven't got this down, but I know this because South Australia were playing in this final. This was our last final win when we won it last year. So it was 30-year wait. That was actually April 20th. That was a long, long time. And that was actually played at Adelaide Oval. And the Adelaide Crows and Port Adelaide were in that competition at that time. 2007, 19th and 23rd of March. Have you noticed a pattern here? So historically, traditionally, the Shield, here's the year 2000, 1997, has always started mid-March. Has always traditionally started mid-March, right? Except for 2019, where they moved to the 25th of April. And then the end of March, early April, late March, 2022. But all these here, 2010, 17th to 21, 2009, 13th to 17th, 2011, same as 2010, 17 to 21. They've remained the same. They've been consistent, while the AFL over the years continue to move forward. Was just the Crows at 90 year. Port joined a year later. Sorry, my bad. But the point is that the Shield has stayed almost identically the same kind of season. Mid-March, mid-late March, AFL are moving closer and closer. And now they're playing in the first week of March, for crying out loud. First week of March with opening round. This is where the AFL do not have a leg to stand on. How can, in my opinion, this is my opinion, the cricket season ends when the Sheffield Shield final ends. I think, in my opinion, Cricket Australia, as long as they maintain the ground, they can't fuck it up and wreck it and make it worse for AFL teams. But until that final is played, they can do whatever they want. That's my opinion. And when the last game of the AFL season is played, the AFL can do whatever they want. So for me, AFL season does not end until the last game grand final, unless they want to move State of Origin the week after the grand final, whenever. The last game of the AFL season is when AFL season ends. They can do what they want. This is where I find this a little bit hypocritical. So AFL looking to put more rounds in over the years. They've got this bogus opening round. This bogus opening round that no one really likes. Now they've got wildcard rounds, which extends the AFL season. So my question is to AFL, why have you not used October to move your season? Because the Sheffield Shield season and the One Day Cup do not start until November. You've got 2 months to play with. You've got a whole 2 months to play with. Why are you interfering with Cricket Australia dates when you've got September cleared, October cleared? If you want to extend the season, no problem. I would not mind that, to be honest, but I'm a sporting person. But use late September and early October as your guinea pig. Do not use March, where you fully know the Sheffield Shield final is played around that time. And this is an Andrew Dillon thing. Andrew Dillon thing. It's absolutely insane. And now, next year, the centenary test in Melbourne at the MCG between England and Australia, is a centenary. It's an expedition, but it's a centenary to celebrate the history of cricket. You know this date was going to come, AFL. They did not make this up, the cricket. They didn't say, you know what, we're going to start a brand new centenary. No. You were aware of this date. Now you're saying, oh, it's not fair, it's an inconvenience. Stop moving your AFL season forward. It's that simple. We won't have problems. Use September, use October. If you want to play a grand final in 24th of October, so what? At least you're staying away from everything. At least the Shield final, the Sheffield Shield and the One Day Cup can start in October, which it usually does. Use those months. Why are you conflicting in March when you know cricket is still going? And let me rephrase, the One Day Cup and the Sheffield Shield, it literally starts in late November, October, early November, because the Test series always starts around November, mid-November, historically. So they always play 3-4 rounds before, they play the Test matches. So you've got at least 30, 40 days to play with in September and October. Why are you not using those dates? If you want to have the grand final in October 19th, fine. I don't think anyone will complain. I don't think you'll find one person that would complain. If you want to extend the season, fine. Have 2 extra rounds in September or early October. Start your finals in October. You used to do it. I think back before COVID, you actually did a grand final in October. No one complained. AFL should use Marvel during the centenary test. Yeah, well, that's what it's for. You've got Marvel. It's not like there's only one stadium in Victoria. You've got Marvel. So you've got Geelong, play an AFL game play a neutral game in Geelong. You've got so many grounds, so many opportunities. You've got Ballarat or Mars Stadium, whatever it's bloody called. You have to be in Mars to travel all the way there. I wouldn't do that, but anyway. But you've got all these grounds. It's called the MCG, C for cricket. It's not the Melbourne Football Ground or the Melbourne Stadium, or it's the Melbourne Cricket Ground. We had not had this problem for 100 years, but you want to move the AFL season forward to March, to early March. And then you want to blame Cricket Australia? Are you fucking kidding me? And Cricket Australia should go an absolute spot. 2011 grand final was in October. There you go. And I'm sure no one complained. No, actually, I want to do something here. Stay with me. So sorry. So I just checked it was a good year that year for us. We won that grand final. I wanted to check the crowd. 99,000. So it didn't affect it at all. It's almost a full house. So playing grand finals in October does not matter. People will turn up. Just ridiculous by Andrew Dillon. And ridiculous by Andrew Dillon by saying there cannot be a turnaround in 4 days. There's your proof right there. There's your proof. 2010 Shield final at the MCG, 21st, 17th to 21st of March. 4 days later, AFL season started, but apparently Andrew Dillon said it couldn't be done. But the AFL need to stop blaming Cricket Australia. It's like a marathon race. Imagine you're near the finishing line, but the finishing line extends another 500 metres. You go 490 metres, the race extends another 500 metres. You can't win. Use the September and October dates as your guinea pig. Do not use March where you know there's a full cricket season. Ridiculous. Well, there has been this rant. Thank you for joining. I know I was delayed so many times, but I was actually writing this down so you can understand. So I wasn't just making it up. I've got streams coming up. I've got a watch-along, day 2, watch-along between Souths. I've got an 8-hour stream. I'll be streaming for 8 hours on that day. So the Sheffield Shield all day, day 2 all day, and then after the Sheffield Shield, straight into the Geelong Gold Coast game. I've got a preview show on the Wednesday, the day before that. Good video, coach. Thank you, Kyri. Go. Also, please, if you're a Liverpool fan or even if you're a soccer fan in general, go to the Red Dawn TV. The link is in my description below. I'm also doing an AFL tipping competition, the Geelong Zone. The link is below in the description as well. Please join us for free. If I get enough people, I want to get at least minimum of 15, 20 people. You might win $20 at the end of the year. I'll throw that in. So absolutely for free. Go look at the link below. But yeah, preview show coming out on Thursday, and then the 8-hour watch along on Friday, the Sheffield Shield, and straight into the Geelong and Gold Coast game. I haven't seen the squads for New South Wales, but if they play the New South Wales Oz Test attack, well, I might be enraged before we even get to the Geelong and Gold Coast chat. I might have my meltdown before that. But, however, when we do lose to Gold Coast, everybody's going to think he's going to have a meltdown. Oh, we are not going to have a meltdown. We are going to read from this book, The History of the Brownlow. I read it last week after the Carlton game. We have Jimmy Bartell and we have Gary Ablett coming up. We have a lot of content, a lot of history to do. So if you're here for a meltdown after the Suns game, 1, it ain't going to happen, and 2, because I actually picked Suns to win by 40 points. Ain't going to happen. We're going to read this book together. And then the Fremantle game. The winner take out the LA Ice Trophy. The LA Ice Trophy. I love that. Absolutely love that. So Gold Coast stream, we're going to learn about Jimmy Bartell's Brownlow win. And then the Freo game, we're going to learn about, in the review, the match review, we're going to learn about Gary Ablett's Brownlow win. Now, what did we do? I can't even find it. Who did we do last week? Who did we do? Oh, yes. We did Alistair Lloyd last week. Alistair Lloyd. Next will be Jimmy Bartell and then Gary Ablett. So we have plenty. We have plenty of stuff. So if you're looking for a meltdown after the Gold Coast game, It ain't going to happen because I'm predicting Gold Coast will beat the hell out of us. The Fremantle game, that might be different. That might be different. I could put Chris Scott needs to go. So, but we got this book. We got this book to go through the pain. But anyway, this has been the Geelong Zone. Thank you so much for watching. Preview stream next Thursday or the day before the game. Thank you so much, and goodbye for now.